안녕하세요. 세상을 빛내는 당신입니다. 세상을 빛나게 만드는 또 우리들의 마음을 따뜻하게 만드는 활동가 분들을 알리고 비영리 단체, 봉사단체, 사회 공헌하는 분들을 찾아가서 인터뷰하는 새빛땅 시작하겠습니다. 외국에서 온 이 학생들이 저와 함께 앉아 있는데요. 모두 사단법인 성공적인 통일을 만들어가는 사람들에서 봉사활동을 하고 있는 외국인 학생들입니다. Hi guys!
Hi!
So, is this your first interview on
Yes.
YouTube? Yes. Can you introduce yourself, your names, where you're from, and how long you have been involved in here? Like one by one? Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm from Germany. I'm 24 years old and I used to be an exchange student at Yonsei University for a year. And I've started this internship 1.5 months ago. Yeah. And I'm working in the social media team.
Okay.
Yes, hi, my name is Agnes, I'm from Hungary. I'm 27 years old and I was also an exchange student here in Sogang University for a semester. But I'm studying in Germany, in Heidelberg, political science. And I started the internship 1.5 months ago as well, and I'm in the research team.
Research team, okay.
Hi guys, my name is Lena. I'm 19 years old and I'm here like for the shortest time now. I've only been here for like 2 weeks, so I'm really fresh. I'm also working in the research team and I'm also from Germany. I study law and next year I'll be back to be an exchange student.
Okay, so there's research team and
Social media.
social media team. So what are the differences? What do you guys do?
Okay, so I'm basically involved in everything social media related, so Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and sometimes if we have a newsletter coming up, and for the events that we have regarding North Korean human rights, we take photos and videos and also edit the videos. So that's basically my work, what I'm doing.
Okay, and the research team?
The research team, we have various tasks, but our biggest task right now is to finish our newest report. And it's about internet freedom, more specifically like the internet and digital human rights in North Korea. So we're just working on making the drafts and reviewing and finishing, and hopefully it's gonna be out next year.
So what made you get interested in North Korean human rights as a foreigner?
Yeah, so for me it's like more about the topic human rights in general. So I study law and I got into working with Amnesty International, which is like an organization, international organization. There's also a really big part of Amnesty International in Korea as well. And they work on human rights topics. And PSCORE also works North Korean human rights.
Yeah, right.
So that's how I got interested in it, because I've also been interested in the country Korea itself, and because North Korean human rights are there are so many violations and it's a huge topic. That's how I became interested in it. Yeah, because I'm just in general interested in human rights work.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you guys?
My interest started actually back in Germany when I started a student job. And one of my tasks, what we do in that company is we just monitor different countries and the level of security and things like that. And I got to Korea to monitor the Korean region, the peninsula. So that's before that I didn't really know much about these issues, but the more I had to work and monitor it, I had to learn about these issues. So that's how I get interested. And then when I was deciding where should I go for exchange semester, I decided to come to Korea because it's really interesting
cool.
country in general.
Yeah.
And since I'm also interested in human rights and I also study political science, so all the interests come together. And I decided that coming here, I decided I want to learn even more and I want to do an internship here. Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Sophie?
for me, before I even got to know about South Korea and the whole K-pop, K-drama thing, I was only interested in North Korea. I'm not sure how it really caught my attention, but I think because it's such a like it's not really well known country, and there are a lot of like secrets around it. So that kind of caught my interest, and then later on I got introduced to like South Korean culture. So I've always been interested in East Asia. I also went to China, which is directly related to like the North Korean issue.
Right.
So I thought that was like really interested in working more into this kind of like area, like China and North Korea. And then I decided to study Korean studies at my university. So there's also like this opportunity to go to South Korea as an exchange student for a year. So I decided to do that. And I've already decided, like even before going here, that I, like later for my bachelor thesis also, that I want to do something related to North Korea, because I just find it really interesting. And then I just looked up how, like what I can do related to this topic in Korea, because there are a lot of opportunities like NGOs like these. So I just looked it up, and now I'm here.
Like in Korea, there are so many NGOs and other groups about North Korean or human rights, North Korean defectors, and blah blah blah. So how did you get to come to PS Core?
I think it's just the possibility to come as a foreign intern. How do you say, like it's easier maybe.
Oh,
So,
okay.
It was like advertised on the internet, and the process was
It was open for foreigners, right?
I think
Yeah.
that's like the main point.
Exactly.
And
For
also
me,
like the
same.
website is like
In English
in
too?
English and
Yeah.
in all the other languages as well.
In
So
German
in
too,
German
right?
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
really?
yeah, so it was really easy to like find all the information, and it's like a very transparent process of applying and stuff. So I guess it was like the easiest to apply to PS Core.
This question can be a little deep. So, like in German, we've got a lot of similarities
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Korea, right? Yeah, and actually, many Korean students study about German, and what I was gonna ask was, what do you think? Like, how should we get ready about this North Korea and South Korea getting one? 통일이 영어로 뭐예요? Unification. Yeah. So how should we like get ready about that? Have you thought about that?
I have, because I think I also find like the similarities really interesting, and I like kind of dove deeper into that topic. The only like the major issue I see is that it has been like the differences have, like the countries, they have grown so far apart.
Yeah. Right.
So for Germany, it was not that long, and also the differences were not as huge as they are now between North and South, and like in Germany, East and West. So I think the first steps would just be to reconnect. Like I think it's gonna take a long time to reconnect.
Right. That's what I'm worrying about.
Yeah, because the differences are just so big. But the first step would be just to reconnect and just make like small exchanges, maybe especially like in the youth, maybe to get to know each other again. Because like right now there's like no connection at all between North and South Korea, I feel like. And if you can just slowly, the people should get to know each other again. So I think there's the people play like the major part, because also like a lot of maybe like South Koreans are not as open to getting to know North Korean people, because it's like a very sensitive topic.
Yeah.
And there is like this division between North and South. But if just slowly getting back together,
getting to know each other.
getting to know each other, exchange opinions, just talk with each other. I think that would make like a big difference already.
Yeah, that would be a big step.
Yeah, like you can see, oh, this person is also just a human. Like we're not that different.
Right.
Yeah. I also remember at the Pechakucha event that we had, and there was a North Korean defector holding a speech, and she said that one of the main issues is that nowadays the young South Koreans, they don't get involved anymore in the reunification topic. So like this thought of reunification is drifting more and more apart. Like people don't really see like the use in it anymore, and they sometimes just refer to it as like an economical burden. So they don't really see the people that would benefit from this, the North Koreans. So I think this thought has to change in the young generation.
Right. So you guys have been here for like 2 weeks and half a month. So what was the most memorable event?
I think the event you mentioned that we had last month, that was actually about Korean unification. That was memorable event because we had a long preparation for that event, and it was like basically a contest, and we had 5 foreigners who had the speech and 5 Koreans, and the jury, they chose one winner for Koreans and one for foreigners, and yeah, it was very interesting to like see the different perspectives of also Koreans but also foreigners. Yeah, and it was very interesting.
Okay.
For me, I think it was the first event that we had at the Korea University. That was also like in the beginning when I came here, because like usually when I watch videos related about North Koreans, you can just like watch it on YouTube and that's it. But being there at the event and being able to ask questions, that was really interesting. So I think that was like for me the most memorable thing, also because I was directly involved in the event. So it was kind of rewarding that we could wrap up like an event like this with a like big audience. Yeah.
So as a freshman, yeah, Lena. So what are you looking forward? Like how long are you gonna stay here?
So I'm gonna be here for 2 months.
What are you looking forward?
I mean, just getting to know the people better and doing like the research, and I don't know what projects are going to come up, but like I mentioned earlier that I'm working with Amnesty International in Germany, and Pada Nam, he is also like he's a board member of Amnesty International in Korea. So he also asked me to prepare like a presentation about our work in Germany, and that will be like at the end of August, and I'm looking forward to that.
That's a very good event to you.
Yeah, so I'll have to speak in front of like the board members. But it's so interesting. And he also took me to an event last week of Amnesty International, so that was probably my most memorable moment until now.
Are there any difficulties working here?
COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
It is. Yeah, sure.
Last week or like even before, some of our colleagues got sick, so we have to be careful with that. Yeah, that's inconvenient.
Yeah. So I think also when hosting the events, I think we would get even more viewers or like more audience if it wasn't for COVID, because then like since now the situation got a bit worse, some people they think twice about joining an event, but I think all in all there's not like big difficulties because I think the team is great, and when we have questions we can always ask Pada, like text him or just in the office or ask each other. So I think not really big difficulties.
Yes.
Okay. So like there were so many virginers out there. Like I was quite frozen. So how many are there?
I think Bada said that in the summer PS Core has more interns, maybe even like 15, 10, 15 people.
Yeah, there were like
And
10 out there.
Not even, I don't think you even see all of it because some of are probably at home or they don't come every day. So some days we have like at every table 2 people. Yes.
Wow, that's huge.
Yes.
This is so cool with Virginers talking about North Korean defectors and North Korean human rights. It's so thankful as a Korean. Do you want to say something about North Korean human rights to our viewers, like to Koreans or other Virginers who are watching this video?
First of all, I think we are all very thankful that South Koreans want to know more about this issue, since when we host events, most of the people who are attending are always foreigners. Because it seems like, to us, it seems sometimes they are more interested in this topic. So it's great to see that a YouTube channel like yours has so many subscribers. So we are like really happy to see that. And if you're watching this video, make sure that you can inform the people around you, even maybe other foreigners who are coming to this country who don't know about the issue. So that would be great.
I think I'm very happy to see like a South Korean YouTube channel actually, because most of the online content I see is mostly from North Koreans, defectors who defect to South Korea, and then they start to later make YouTube channels to inform other people.
Yeah,
so it's nice to see.
There's so many YouTubers
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
It's nice to see like South Koreans took also upon themselves to like, oh, let's educate the people, let's ask other people. Yes, so it's really nice. And I would say the viewers just to don't be discouraged too much from the information, because there is a lot of things out there, but people can start slowly, and even if you just see 1 or 2 videos, that's already a lot. Yes, there are already some steps to take. Yeah.
Right.
I think when like talking about human rights, it's like the human that you should focus on. So even though like the topic of North Korea is kind of like also controversial here in South Korea, I think you should focus more on the people of North Korea.
You can say that again.
Yeah, and like how they are living and how they are being like oppressed by the government, and instead of like looking at the whole country or like the government as the evil source, maybe focus more on the people.
Yeah. So, are there anything else you want to say?
Thank you.
Like that's all for my questions. So, yeah. For lastly, how did you feel about this interview?
I think it was great. I was a bit nervous in the beginning because I didn't know what like the interview would be like. But yeah, it was really interesting also to see my coworkers' experiences and opinions, because like at lunch we talk about like different stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great like to see that.
Yeah, and you asked great questions.
Oh, thank you. I studied a lot.
You did well.
Yeah, thank you.
I actually like that we did together, because at first I thought it's gonna be one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that we did together. It
Yes.
felt like more
Yeah, so you
nicer,
could feel less nervous.
Yes.
I was so nervous, right?
Actually, maybe one more thing to the viewers.
Yeah,
if
of
you
course.
are Korean, like you can still join PS Core
Yes.
and the NGO, of course. It's like we have a lot of foreigners. We
Right.
have also a lot of Korean Americans and Koreans as well working here. We have like an education team who focuses on making educational courses on for defectors, so that you can help a lot. But you can also join the research team, other teams. So
Yeah.
if you're interested, you can check out PS Core website and
Or our Instagram for events.
Social media team.
Yes, I have to make
Okay.
some advertisement.
That was great.
And to maybe other foreigners who are watching this video who are not in Korea, you don't have to come to Korea to help North Korean defectors, because there might be some defectors in your own country, or you can work in other NGOs who work at something like North Korean related, for example, Amnesty. So you don't have to come to Korea to be of any great help. You can do it in your own country as well.
And I would say that I know that like when it comes to the topic of unification, Korean unification, it seems I think for many people like almost impossible, because it's been so many years that Korea been united. But I come from East Europe, and so I am the daughter of generations who grew up under communism, and also thinking it's never gonna change this system because it's been so long, and yet my parents, they experienced at a young age, at my age, of opening the countries and uniting again with the rest of Europe. So I would say that if anything I learned, that's nothing impossible, even if it seems like it.
Dana, do you have a word?
Yeah, like it's so easy to like look away. It's way easier to just focus on your own life, but there are so many people struggling in this world, and like the small steps, they can matter as well. So if everyone just does a little bit, then it will become like something bigger, and then things can actually change. So even if it seems like irrelevant to you, or like maybe you're frustrated because you think, oh, it's not going to change anyway, that's most of the time it's like not true. It can change something, it can make a difference. So yeah, maybe just like the little steps matter. And as like Sophie already said, you can do it from anywhere. Anything like anywhere, just small steps. Yeah.
As I may know, PSCO is a multicultural and multilingual society. So please tell your short message in your own language, please. In German and in Hungarian.
So, like a final message? Or
Yes.
To the German people.
To the
Yeah,
German.
in German.
Okay, hallo, liebe Deutschen. Liebe Grüße aus Südkorea und genau, ihr könnt euch gerne ein bisschen mehr informieren. Die Website von PSCO ist wie gesagt auch auf Deutsch und genau, es ist auch wirklich spannend, auch als Deutsche sich damit auseinanderzusetzen, weil es eben die Ähnlichkeiten zu Ost- und Westdeutschland gibt. Und ja, wenn ihr euch da mal ein bisschen einlest, dann werdet ihr auch sehen, dass es ganz schön schockierend ist, was in Nordkorea alles so an Menschenrechtsverletzungen passiert. Und das bekommt man oft gar nicht mit, wenn man sich nicht quasi aktiv damit beschäftigt. Aber deswegen hier nochmal das Appell, sich vielleicht ein bisschen damit zu beschäftigen und dann vielleicht auch zu überlegen, ob man selber Ideen hat, wie man da helfen kann.
Genau, also ihr seid hier auch alle willkommen. Das Team ist super, man kann sich gut integrieren und auch schnell, weil alle super nett sind. Es gibt keine Kommunikationsschwierigkeiten oder ähnliches. Ihr könnt ja euch auch direkt von Deutschland aus bewerben, wenn ihr schon den Plan habt, nach Korea zu kommen. Also es muss auch gar nicht super lange sein, also ich werde hier für 2 Monate bleiben und das reicht auch. Also jede Hilfe ist willkommen und vielleicht wirken auch die News über Nordkorea auch immer sehr alltäglich, aber diese Menschenrechtsverletzungen sollten nicht quasi normal bleiben oder Alltag. Und ja, wir wollen auf jeden Fall helfen, dass es nicht mehr so alltäglich ist.
Und darf ich noch ganz kurz was sagen?
Ja.
Ja, ich fand das nämlich voll gut, was Sophie gesagt hat. Und ich denke mir auch immer, wir in Deutschland, wir hatten sehr viel Glück, dass es geklappt hat mit der Wiedervereinigung. Und Nord- und Südkorea hatten das Glück vielleicht auch nicht oder nicht den passenden Moment oder was auch immer. Aber ich bin sehr dankbar, dass damals Ost- und Westdeutschland wieder vereinigt wurden. Und genau, deswegen
Und
fände ich
das Gleiche für Nord- und Südkorea.
Genau, ja. Na jetzt.
Sziasztok magyarok! Ágnes vagyok, a PSCO-nál dolgozok jelenleg Dél-Koreában, és titeket is bátorítanának, hogyha érdekel titeket a koreai kultúra, a K-pop, K-dráma, meg ilyenek, akkor nyugodtan gyertek el Koreába, és ha van esetleg időtök, és jobban meg akarjátok érteni a koreai helyzetet a politikában, akkor a PSCO egy nagyon jó szervezet, ahol rendkívül sok mindent lehet tanulni, és érdekes dolgokat csinálni, és rengeteg sokféle emberrel találkoztok, különböző országból, kultúrából is, úgyhogy egy nagyon ilyen multikulturális, nagyon érdekes.
So thank you. I asked you guys about the memorable moment. So to me, I think it's going to be this moment. It was a great interview.
Yes.
And thank you for your time. It was great. You guys did a great job.
You
and
too.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you for making the people know about this organization.
Oh, that's my job. 시청자 여러분, 오늘 세빛땅에서는 이렇게 독일 또 헝가리에서 온 학생들 인터뷰했고요. 정말 많은 사람들이 북한의 인권에 대해서 관심을 갖고 이렇게 활동하는 만큼 우리 대한민국에서도 많은 관심을 가졌으면 좋겠습니다. 오늘 인터뷰는 여기서 마무리하겠습니다. 감사합니다. Thank you.
감사합니다.